On today's episode, I hang out with Flamy Grant, shame-slaying, hip-swaying, chart-topping performer who is a powerhouse vocalist and award-winning songwriter. She has over 1.5 million streams on digital platforms and blends country, folk, gospel, and roots music to deliver a theatrical, therapeutic, and wholly original experience of intrepid storytelling, all shared through the evocative art of drag. I deeply appreciated this conversation as she shared a bit about her origin story, how music allows for the expression of self, and the power of drag. We also talk about her love of national parks, dealing with the haters, and she offers some words of love and power to young people who may be feeling the shame and hate of others. Thanks for spending time with The Amalgamation, and I hope you enjoy my conversation with Flamy Grant. My name is Bruce Reyes-Chow, and you found The Amalgamation Podcast. Each episode, I chat with inspiring humans, activists, artists, academics, and adventurers as we joyfully and courageously co-conspire to make the world a more loving, compassionate, and just home for everyone. Welcome to The Amalgamation. I'm so excited today. I have been listening to and hearing about Flamy Grant for a long time, and I'm so grateful we have some mutual friends. So, Flamy, I'm so excited that you are here. Can you just begin? What is important for people to know about you? Do a little self-introduction. Tell us about you.
Gosh, important for people to know about me? I don't know if there's anything important for people to know about me. I am just a human in the world trying to find my way like all of us. And that way happens to involve a whole lot of music, a whole lot of drag, a whole lot of performing and touring and writing and just, exploring what this life is. And I don't know, the first thing that has come to my mind is that I am currently undergoing, I just had this done yesterday, which is why I was putting on some lotion right before we talked, but I am getting my facial hair lasered off because as a drag queen who gets into drag, at least 5 nights a week when I'm touring, I'm so tired of shaving. I'm so sick of it. So I'm getting rid of body hair. That's the most important thing for people to know about me right now.
There you go. You're getting some behind the scenes. Just laser it all off. That just makes life easier.
Yes, so much easier.
So we're going to jump ahead. Have you met Amy Grant yet?
I have not had the pleasure yet. I've come close. I've met lots of folks in her circle. Actually, I didn't even know I was in the room with her one time, actually not that long ago, a few months ago at a show in Nashville, a pretty small show. And I didn't know she was there. And somebody at the end of the night was like, "Did you see Amy over there?" And I was like, "What? No." So it'll happen one of these days. I think she knows about me, and I've heard from folks who know her that they've brought me up in her presence, and she's aware. Oh, yeah. So I think she's cool with it so far. I haven't received any cease and desist letters or anything. So
I can imagine. I would love to know, whatever you're comfortable sharing, what's your origin story to this? How did this all come about? How did you become Flamy Grant?
Well, I found a meteor that had fallen, and I just touched it, and suddenly I was fabulous. I don't know. No, do
you have an ice house up in the Arctic too that kind of comes up when you come near it?
It was either that or a spider bite. I don't know. No, I've loved drag for a long time. I've come to everything in my life a little bit late because of how I was raised, which was very fundamentalist evangelical. So just heaps and heaps of fear and shame. That's my origin story, actually, is fear and shame and fighting tooth and nail to find my way out of it. And so I kind of, we always use this phrase, I discovered drag. I didn't discover drag. Other people discovered drag. I stumbled into a drag show, in my late 20s, and just really started falling in love with the art form, going to as many shows as I could in San Diego, where I lived at the time. And I had played around a little bit here and there. In like 2019, I think Halloween was the first time I ever went out in drag. It was terrible drag, but it was, it was my drag. And then, we had the pandemic, just a few months later, in 2020. And I just was, like all of us, stuck at home and trying to fill time. And instead of doing a sourdough starter, I just decided I would watch a whole bunch of YouTube makeup tutorials, and I just have not stopped since, really.
Wow.
Once I started getting into drag, and I would perform with my housemates, at the time. My husband and I lived with another couple who were musicians, and so we just started a little live stream like everybody did during the pandemic, and we would sing cover songs, make cocktails, drink drinks with 30 of our closest internet friends every week. And I started showing up to that in drag, and then once the clubs started opening back up, I started performing, and next thing I knew, I was recording music in drag, and it just hasn't really slowed down since.
Wow. That's amazing. I mean, some people did sourdough. I did houseplants. I mean, all the different things that you could have picked up. I mean, as you look back to the beginning, do you look at that and be like, do you cringe? Are you like, wow, how much I've improved? I mean, just as I think back about the progression. I mean, do you look back at the beginning? What do you think?
Well, I don't cringe. I definitely look at it and I'm like, yeah, I mean, that was busted as hell. Like, that was a mess. But I don't cringe at it because I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be on the path that I'm on. And I never could have gotten to where I am today without those early days of, just really horribly misshapen eyebrows and caked on powder that I didn't know how to blend. And so, no, I actually regularly will, like, just on my socials, I'll just post a shot from 2020 or 2021 and be like, hey, just so y'all know, like, this is where it all starts. Like don't forget that you have to quote unquote fail a whole lot before you succeed. And
we all go through that stage of this. You got to go through that. You don't wake up and all of a sudden make it look easy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, were you always a musician, involved with music? Was that always part of your world and life?
Yeah, music has always been there. I come from a household where somebody was always singing, namely my mom. My mom is a pianist. She was the pianist for our church, and was just singing all the time with her sisters. There are four of them, and their last name, their maiden name was Forrester, and so they called themselves the Forrester Sisters, the real Forrester Sisters. And and so they would sing at family reunions, and I started singing in church as soon as I could, as soon as I had understood a melody. And so yeah, music's been there forever. I wrote my first song when I was 9. I taught myself guitar in high school so that I could kind of I was writing lyrics and melodies in my head, but I didn't know how to play an instrument, so I got one of those, chord chart books and from our local Dunham's Music House, and a cheap guitar, and just started learning guitar. And before I knew it, I was leading worship. In high school, I went to a Christian high school, so we had chapels, and same in college. We had I went to Presbyterian school, actually, in Bristol, King College. So I would lead music there, and then I had one of my first jobs was a church gig in Reno, Nevada, working for a mega church where I led music. And so I've always kind of been doing that. I've had several like side projects along the way. I've always had a day job up until 2 years ago. Worked in nonprofit mostly, and I would just find ways to make music in my free time. Sometimes it was like solo stuff just under my government name. So I was in a couple different bands, still am in one band that's just on a really, really long hiatus right now. But so it's just always been there. It's been the thing that, I mean, more than anything else, I think has saved me, has given me a place to feel like I have something to offer. I have somewhere to belong. It's given me a way to work are we allowed to cuss on the amalgamation?
Oh, yes. You can
work my shit out, I'm such an external processor. And so basically if I don't get to say it out loud or do it outside of my head somehow, in conversation or writing, like I don't even know how I feel about things. You know, I have to do it externally. And so music is that for me. Songwriting is that, really. It's just me doing my own therapy and trying to understand what's going on in my own head. So I love music. So grateful for it. Life would be so awesome. Boring without it.
That is, and for those of us, I mean, I'm like fourth string guitarist, and every church that I've ever been part of, they're like, yeah, sure, you can play if nobody else is available. I mean, I pastored churches, and my wife and when I was the pastor, I always made it a point, like the Sunday after Christmas, everybody except I would get it off. Like all the musicians and my wife and I would lead music, and we were like one level above Saturday Night Live skits. I mean, I love it. People humored us, and it was great. Like we were earnest, which is why it was lovely. But I think you're right. It's just, there's something about it, as cheesy as it could be sometimes, it's just awesome. So just thinking about drag, and I think, why do you think it is so amazing? I mean, my kids, us, my mom, we love drag, and we just go, and there's just something about it that is just awesome. Like, why, you know, aside from those who just hate it and all the haters and all that kind of thing that just, you know, whatever, but why do you think those of us who just go, and there's something about it that's just so amazingly fun? And like, what about drag, whether it's drag bingo or just a drag show or whatever it is, what about drag is so freeing, exciting, joyous? What about it? Why?
Yeah, it drags a magic mirror. It's a magic mirror into another dimension where we don't have social constructs, where we don't have society telling us how to behave, how to speak, how to hold your body, who you're allowed to interact with, you know, just the weight of gender constructs is so heavy. The people who suffer the most from gender constructs are the trolls in my comments who are so mad at me for doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like it's those straight guys who just feel that pressure to, like, I don't want to be called gay. Don't call me gay. And so in order to not be called gay, I'm going to make sure I'm wearing all the right clothes and wearing them the right way. And I'm speaking the right way. And I'm bottling up my emotions. And I'm not letting, you know, I have the right veneer that I put forward. I'm like, y'all are the ones in drag, baby. You are trying so hard. It takes me 2 hours to put my drag on, and then I get to go and have a kiki, and then I take it off, and I'm good. Like, you have to do it all the time. And I speak from experience, because for a good 30 years of my life, I was that guy. You know, I was a male presenting person who didn't even understand. I didn't even know about like the option to be non-binary. And I desperately wanted to fit in with the boys. I wanted to be one of the guys, and I worked so hard at it, and it was exhausting, and it nearly killed me multiple times. And so that's what drag is. It's just a way to like say, F you to all of that pressure. I am going to just do something that feels fun, feels good, feels light, feels whatever I need it to be, right? Drag can be anything. It's theater. So it's not just one, you know, people might have like a narrow idea of a drag is a cis man dressing up as a woman, right? And that's just not at all it. What it is gender fuckery. At the end of the day, I think the thing that all drag kind of has in common is that it holds up that mirror to society, and it says, this is what is constraining you right now. This like idea of what gender is, that's what's holding you back. And I think what people love about it so much is they get to for, you know, an hour and a half or whatever at the drag brunch, they get to watch people living their freest life. And it gives them hope that maybe there's a world in which all of us could actually be free from the oppressive weight.
And if there's part of you that wants some of that too, you're given permission in that moment to just be that as well, right? Yeah. Just in however you may want to do that in that moment. Yeah. And then I think you bring this like musical talent to it as well, right? Then you're adding another layer of kind of this other gift to it that adds even more to the expansive nature of drag that not everybody can do, right? Which I think adds another element to it, which is amazing, which then I think pisses people off even more because you're bringing another level of talent to it, which then people then, well, what do we do at this now too? Because you're not just this, you're also this musical talent. Now we have to deal with you winning awards for a talent that now we have to give you awards, but we don't like this other part of you. So we can't really give, I mean, can you talk a little bit about awards and not getting awards and all those kind of things that have happened around some of your music?
Gosh, yeah, I guess I could. I won right out of the gate. I won an award in 2023 for us. It was a songwriting competition down in Texas. And that was really kind of the thing that helped get me into the networks that I move in now, which are really like folk musicians, Americana musicians, like that. That's the world. A little bit of country, a little bit of gospel, but certainly not the traditional gate-kept, contemporary Christian music industry. And that's really the only thing I've ever won. I've been nominated for other things since then, but I've not won anything since. So I don't know how much of an expert on awards I am, because that first one was really like somebody told me about the contest and said you should enter, and so I did, and then I just kind of wrote it to the end until I was in drag on a Texas stage in the hill country in the heat of like May. I think it was May. Just trying not to sweat all of my makeup off singing songs in front of people. But I'm guessing what you're probably alluding to is 2 years ago, I guess, maybe two, I can't remember. Time is weird. I think it was about 2 years ago. My friend Semler and I, who Semler is another out artist who also has released Christian music, and they were actually the first artists to hit #1 on a Christian chart as an out, openly, queer person. Mm-hmm. And so we both had like a good year that year, and we were obviously not invited to the Dove Awards, which are the right. Christian Grammys, for lack of a better descriptor. And we were like, you know what, let's go. Let's buy tickets. Anybody can buy a ticket to this award show. Let's go buy our tickets. So we did. We bought tickets up in the nosebleeds. We invited our friends, our fans, whoever, to come join us. So we ended up with about 30 people who just were all in this one little section at Lipscomb University in Nashville in the nosebleeds, just bringing all the gay we could possibly bring to that room. I went in full drag. My friend Derek Webb went in a dress. People just, our friends all wore their glitter and their big hair and all right. that. And we were like, let's just go and be a presence in the room. Right. I looked at it as kind of like more of a, like exploratory.
Yeah. And you weren't going to disrupt it. You just went.
No. Yeah. We weren't trying. It was not a protest. We weren't holding signs. Yeah. We weren't going to shout anything. I was kind of exploring. I was like, I mean, this is a world that I was really intrigued by as a kid. And I wanted to be a Christian. I wanted to be, at the time I would have told you I wanted to be Stephen Curtis Chapman or Michael W. Smith, but obviously I wanted to be Amy Grant. And that was the career path that I wanted as a child. And I stopped wanting that in my probably my late teens, even certainly by my 20s. I was very much over kind of Christian music as an industry, but it was still like it's like, well, Semler and I both released Christian music. Both of us had #1 hits that kind of went viral, and so let's go to the Doves. Let's just go. And we did, and it was a really fascinating night. I mean, if anything, it just really sealed the deal for me that I am like 1000%, done with Christian music as an industry.
Yeah.
At least the one that exists currently. It's a mess. For sure. And for sure. It is one of the, if not the most powerful, certainly one of the most powerful tools I think that evangelicalism has used to turn America into what we have right now. This deeply divided nation where the rise of Christian nationalism is so fueled by these worship moments that music has the power to create. Music is a tool like anything, right? It can be used for good or evil. And
yeah. Well, and we're seeing, I mean, we're recording this right after some terrible things that have been happening in our country, and we're seeing huge events happening around assassinations and worship services that are being turned into Christian nationalism things. It's terrible. And I think, well, I would say, I think the progressive church has had a hand in allowing this to happen, and some abdication of voice and things, but that's a whole other podcast that we could take on for sure. Let me ask though, I don't want to give the hate a lot of oxygen, but how do you, I mean, I'm sure the amount that you get, and I bet folks are wondering, how do you deal with that? Like, how do you not absorb that? How do you deflect or not take it on? I mean, how do you just deal with all of that? Because you must just get a ton, right? I mean,
yeah.
And as much as you may try to ignore it or whatever, some of it's got to get through. I mean, how do you just deal with it all?
Well, I get this question so frequently, Bruce, that I wrote a whole song to answer it.
Okay.
The song is called Sparkle, and it's spelled like one of those apps on your phone, what don't got no vowels. So it's like Sparkle. It's an acronym, and it stands for Stay Proud, Radiate, Keep Laughing. And so that's my, quick and dirty, way of, that's how I handle it. I stay proud, I radiate, I keep laughing, baby. I'm really lucky in that my personality makeup is one that does not, it's really hard to penetrate my inner peace if you're a stranger to me, like with criticism, it's like, I don't take any, and it works the same way with praise. Like if I don't know you, if you're a stranger to me and you come and you're very effusive, a lot of times people are like overly effusive, like, oh my gosh, like you're amazing, and I'm just like, okay, thank you. Like it's not gonna, it doesn't really have an impact. Now, if it's a close person to me and a close person comes up and says,
right.
Either or says that was really great, right. or that, you need to work on this, like that, or that was, not good. Then it's going to absolutely cripple me and I will go into hiding for a week. But as far as strangers on the internet, I'm just lucky in that it really genuinely does not get to me. And so I see that as a gift that I get to, it's a little bit of a superpower, right? It's an Enneagram 8 thing, I think.
Ooh, are you an Enneagram person?
I am. Well, I was. Ooh. I'm not as much anymore. I don't really but there was that I think we all had a year where we were like, oh my gosh, this is the answer to everything, right? So,
my family has completely weaponized it with each other, so it's lovely. Our family is completely.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
That's so for my kids completely.
You're being such a 6 right now. Stop being so phobic. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's that's the dark side of the Enneagram, right?
Exactly.
The underbelly. Yeah. But no, I feel like I get to, because that stuff doesn't get to me personally. I have taken it upon myself over the past couple of years, not all the time, and actually less and less. The deeper into this career I get, but especially initially, I would just take those comments and I would be sassy right back, or I would I have criteria, right, for how I interact with people online. And I never, first of all, I never do it to try to win an argument. I never do it to change someone's mind, because trolls, that's not nowhere in the history of the internet.
Yes, exactly.
Has someone changed?
Oh my gosh, to change your mind.
Yeah, had a deep change of heart over a Facebook comment. That does not happen. All that those social media tools do, really, unfortunately, is to reinforce, presuppositions and prejudices that we all have. And I include myself in that as well. So if I am interacting with a troll online, and the way I'll do it is I'll usually do my little comment, and then I'll screenshot it, and then I make a whole post about it, or a carousel of Instagram comments. Here are the bigots I interacted with this week. And the reason I do that is because I know that for me, when I was younger, if I had seen somebody standing in their power, standing in their integrity, completely unflappable, completely unfazed by the online bullying that happens to kids these days, if I could have seen that, I know that would have made a difference for me. That would have made me feel a little more safe, a little more seen, a little more empowered myself. And so that's why I do it.
That's what I was going to ask. I was wondering, for a young person who may not have that superpower that you've had or developed or whatever, like, what do you say to that person when they're getting that? Like, just even if they're starting to peek into drag or just understanding their own sexuality.
Yeah.
That seeing like, this person's getting all this. What do you say to to a young person like that? Or what are the kinds of things that you would say to them?
It really does for me come down to stay proud, radiate, and keep laughing. Like, be proud of who you are. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. The shame you feel is not yours. That's been put on you. It is not yours to carry. It's not your problem. That's their problem. Radiate, use what God's given you, girl. Like, whatever your talent is, whatever your gift is, whatever you feel joy about and you want to like express to the world, like, do it, dive in, do it. Even if, like we talked about earlier, even if it looks like shit at the beginning, do it. And then keep laughing. Like, don't let them get to you. Like, find the joy in your community, find the people around you who do see you for who you are, and other unblocked, enlightened people who, are free from, or at least trying to be free from the shackles of shame and fear, because I believe those are the things those are the source, the root of so much of what is going on in the world today with people just at each other's throats. People are so afraid and they're so ashamed. And until we deal with those things, we're going to continue to have the world that we have. Yeah. So, and mostly I would say, and I do say to young folks, I just try to let them know that they're loved, even if it's from me. I'm like, look, I don't know you yet, or I just met you, or like you're a stranger on the internet, but I want you to know, like, I've got some love for you right here. Because I didn't have a whole lot of that growing up. My religion wasn't one of love. It was one of rules and regulations, and then, shame if you broke any of those rules and regulations. And so it's just so important. It sounds cliche, but love is the answer, baby. All you need is love, like more love. Amen. So, yeah.
Yes, no, I mean, I'm right there with you. Those of you that can't see me, in my frame up on my shelf, I have a thing that says "You are loved," and it says "Yes, you." Right up there. We're on the same page.
Yes, you.
Oh, thank you. Awesome. Well, let's move into a couple more segments I do with everybody. So we move into the nerdy and the niche, just to give a little bit of complexity to everybody. So, what's the nerdy? Is there a nerdy or niche thing that folks would never guess about you that you're into? That just, it could be anything. Like, what's the nerdy or niche thing about Flamy Grant?
I mean, I'm such an open book. I feel like, I mean, like I am really nerdy about makeup. I really love just makeup itself and the products and the tools and all that. I mean, I don't know how niche it is, but maybe it's kind of niche. I love national parks. I have since I went to Yosemite National Park for the first time when I first moved out west in 2004. And went to Yosemite and just was like, wow, this is incredible. And so I've, it's one of my bucket list things is to visit all of our national parks while we still have them. Seriously. So I just saw a couple more this summer. I think I'm at 33 or 34 of the 63 that we currently have right now. So
have you been to Zion?
I have, yeah.
Beautiful. Have you done the Narrows?
That scary trail, yes. I did it years and years ago. It was so terrifying.
We just did it this last summer with our kids, and they will never do it again. They're like, why did you try to kill us? I'm like, it was so fun. Like, we were almost swept away and died. I'm like, oh my God, you did not almost get swept away and died. You fell over and you drifted a little bit. It wasn't that deep. I'm like, oh my God, we almost died. I'm like, okay. 4. Like, that was like, oh my gosh, you're such a 4.
Trauma.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did all of the Utah parks in one trip once. It was over Thanksgiving actually, and I was by myself. So I did the big 5, Escalante and Zion and Bryce and Arches and Canyonlands. Canyonlands is my favorite place in the whole world that I've been to so far. I've not done that one. Love that place. It's the first place I ever let myself feel and think about and actually enter into doubt about my faith. It's the first time I ever was like, I think maybe there's not a God, like I let myself like entertain the possibility. And it was sitting there looking out in the dead silence. It's the quietest place I've ever been to. It's insane. Yeah, love that. Love it there so much.
Yeah, that's niche and nerdy.
And so nerdy, is that niche? Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's other things.
Because not everybody is into national. I think family road trips goes through these, and those road trip things, it goes through these waves. I think it's coming back with all this like van life, camper life thing that's going on, which I would never do. That is not my thing at all. But I think it's starting to come back a little bit. But my wife grew up with like family road trip thing, and we had never done that as a family because I'm not a big nature guy. So, I think that is coming back. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you reading? What are you listening to? And what are you watching?
Okay. Reading, like currently right now I'm doing The Artist's Way for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
You're the second person that's doing that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's great.
Well, I got invited by a friend, my friend Heather May, she's a musician and a whole bunch of other things as well. But she periodically will just lead a group of fellow artists through this book. And, it's something I've heard about a whole lot. I know the term morning pages, I was like, I know people do this thing. I don't really know what it is, but so I'm doing it, or trying, I'm doing my best. I haven't yet had a week where I've done my morning pages every single day, but I'm working on it. And, it's been really cool, really profound, and especially to do it in a group like that. But I love thrillers and just mysteries, like anything like like Gone Girl, anything that's like psychological, and there's like a troubled heroine or like a problematic heroine who has to like reach into her own memory and remember things because she's been an alcoholic or whatever. Like I love that of those kinds of stories. So I read a lot of that stuff, and awesome. When I say read, I mostly mean listen to, because as a touring artist,
me too. Oh,
yeah, I'm in the car all the time. And so I'm a
big audiobook person.
Yeah. Love, thank goodness for audiobooks.
We just listened to the Hunger Games prequel about Hamish. So good.
Is it good?
Oh,
okay.
So good. So
all
good.
Right. I've wondered if I wanted to give time to that.
If you liked all the Hunger Games.
I loved the Hunger Games.
The Hamish backstory. Excellent. Yeah.
Okay. Work. Yeah.
All right.
I'll check it out.
Listening to and watching.
Listening to, which I guess I could have said audiobooks, but I'll go into music for that. I don't actually listen to as much music as I used to, interestingly. And I've found this to be true with a lot of my artist friends. It's like, it's almost like kind of a shameful thing. And then I say it out loud, and my fellow singer-songwriters like, yeah, me too. I don't listen to music anymore. But
it could be podcasts. Could be podcasts.
Well, I don't really listen to podcasts either. I used to listen to them all the time. Sorry, amalgamation. I'll try to get you in the queue at some point, but no, what I do listen to now are honestly like my friends, like the people that I know in real life who I love and love what they do. So Spencer LaJoy is probably my favorite songwriter in the world right now. I love what Spencer is doing. Their album, not House Fires, Shadow Puppets is like, it's healed so much of me. It's such a really phenomenal album. Please, everybody, check that record out. I love this band called The Pairs, Pairs. It's two sets of twins, except it's only three people. So it's twins and then a third person who is also a twin, but their twin isn't in the band. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
So they call themselves The Pairs because everybody in the band is a twin.
It's a twin.
Yeah. They're so good. The harmonies are, as good as anything you'll hear from, like I don't know, Boy Genius or anything like that. Like just gorgeous female harmonies. I wanted to say one more. Oh, my friend Olivia Ellen Lloyd put out a record this year called Do It Myself. It is some good honky tonk, like girl power, just really phenomenal record. So yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll put all that in the show notes. Okay, what are you watching?
Oh, it's so cliche. I'm like totally rewatching Drag Race right now. I I'm on season 6. I'm about to watch the finale of season 6. I don't know. I really, really love drag, and I love Drag Race. It was one of the, first.
You started at the beginning. You started season 1 and just going all through them again.
Yeah, for like the 4th time. This is the 4th time I've probably gone through them. Yeah, so it's something to have on too. It's just like a nice
background,
winding down from the day or whatever, having it on. I did start a show recently called Hunting Wives. Have you heard of this one?
Oh yeah. That's kind of that's been popular lately.
Yeah. I've only watched the first episode, but I was like, damn, like it's kind of, it's not satire, but it's kind of, it's almost like a drag version of what it must be to be like navigating like the high society Republican world. It's, set in Texas or whatever. And it's, the first episode at least was insane. So I do want to get back into that, but I had to finish watching Bianca Del Rio win her crown. So sorry, spoiler alert, season 6, if you don't know by now.
Yeah, it's not really a spoiler at this point. Yeah. That's awesome. We just started watching Mindhunter, which is really good.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Netflix. Yeah, it's been out a little bit, and so I kind of missed it. We missed it, and then we've gone back and started watching it. It's so good. Yeah, we've been.
Is it?
Bitching.
Is it creepy?
It's not as creepy as I thought it was going to be. The first episode was a little bit, but it isn't. It keeps you hooked just enough.
Okay.
And it's good. It doesn't give you nightmares creepy.
Yeah, I love scary stuff. I love like good psychological. I don't like gore horror, but I like ghost stories or psychological or even serial killers.
You might like it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Work.
Tell folks how to keep up with you. I'll put all the stuff in the show notes, but keep up with you. This is going to come out October-ish. So shows where you're going to be like November, December. Where can people catch you?
Yeah, awesome. So all fall I'm touring, well, just kind of all over, but mostly concentrated in New England. And so I'll be, especially in November, I'll be in New England almost that whole month. And then in December, I do this is my second year doing this run of shows with my friends Heather May, who I already mentioned, and Chris Matthews, both incredible artists, queer artists. And so we call our holiday tour "Make the Yuletide Gay," because we're so smart like that. So we'll be touring everywhere from, we start actually here in my hometown in Asheville, and we go up to like DC, and then kind of through the Midwest a little bit, and then we end up in like Tennessee, Georgia. So it's a really fun, that's a great night. If you're anywhere near one of those Make the Yuletide Gay shows, I highly recommend, because we do it Nashville style in the round. So all 3 of us are on stage, and we just take turns swapping stories, sharing songs. No 2 nights are the same, because we'll mix it up. It's just it's a lot of fun, and we do some holiday stuff and also original stuff. So
that's awesome. That sounds lovely. I if I happen to be traveling out there, I'll definitely try to catch one. This has been lovely. Thank you so much for hanging out and taking some time.
Thank you for having me. It's been a treat.
Yeah. Everybody, thank you all for listening to another episode of The Amalgamation. Again, all the links that we've talked about will be in the show notes. You all know what to do. Rate, all the things, rate, subscribe, all that kind of thing. We're going to play you out, though, with a little sparkle. Again, thank you all for being here, and we will see you next time.
Salvation. When I painted what was inside out, puckered her lips and pouted. What a situation. I think I found my new vocation. But honey, you said, hey, be somewhere in there. The fact is that I have not investigated. This makes me uncomfortable. It's such a scandal, and it's hard for me to handle. And I said, hey, I don't know why you think you're entitled to a certain presentation from others, but I am happy to dismantle it. Cause this is how you fight it. Hey, I know they want you to hide it. They knock you cause they ain't tried it. You got passion. Feeling good's never going out of fashion.
This podcast was hosted by Bruce Reyes-Chow, produced by Emmy Hicks, edited by Desiree McFarland, with music by Marissa Magdal-Laron, and inspired by ancestors past and generations to come. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And be sure to subscribe to the Amalgamation newsletter at reyes-chow.com. Until next time, thanks for listening.